Welcome to my garage, hundreds of miles away from Good Trip Cabin, because deer season for me has come to an end. While there's still a little bit of urban archery to be done up around the cabin, for me, at this time of year, I like to prioritize other things, and so no more hunting. I start my season early on where I go on quite a bit of trips, and then I prioritize other hobbies that start now. Like anything else, the end of a season with any hobby, I like to go through my bins or my packs and see what needs to be replaced, what is broken, what needs to be recharged, replenished, or some of the trash that made its way in there. It would be a good learning experience where somebody might benefit from me, or in the comments we can get a conversation going where you all tell me what I could replace and why. So, what's in the bag? First, the pack itself. This is an Eberlestock Bandit, and it is perfect in terms of size and weight for a one-day trip. For me, my main concept is I want to get into the woods with nothing on me that I'm not carrying up that tree. I don't want to make any noise trying to set up at the bottom of the tree or anything like that. I want to hike in as quietly as possible and start climbing, just putting the ropes around the tree and going without doing anything else. If it doesn't fit in here, then I don't need it, and it keeps me disciplined to only carry what I need. It is made of really good material. The zippers have not caused me any issues. Nothing has really broken on it, and it just feels like it's really well built with tons of mounting points. This is actually what I use to hang it from the tree, and so just carabiner like this, and it feels safe and secure, and it is very comfortable once you're in the woods. I don't really feel like I'm carrying it at all. It has tons of adjustability on the back here, and also a hydration pack. On the outside, it has 2 pouches and a MOLLE panel. I might be using that if I find out that I need to carry anything else from your recommendations in this video. But on the sides here, this is a very important feature for me because I want to be able to reach into this pocket once I'm hanging from the tree at the very top without having to take the bag off my back. And this allows me to strap everything onto the tree. So this is the tethered HYS system. It's just a strap that wraps around the tree, and I can hang my pack, I can hang my bow, and now I can use both hands to access everything I need that's in the pack. This has to be on the side here, and I can just reach back and grab it without letting go of the tree or the rope or whatever, feeling very safe up there. And then on the other side, usually I just have that for, you know, a snack or anything I might want to grab. In this case, I have hand warmers in here. I don't think that's the best place for them, but here they are. Sometimes I put like wrappers and trash that I want to throw away once I'm back at the truck on this side. There are 2 main compartments to this bag. The main big one allows you to open it all the way. That is not something you want to do when you're in the tree, but you can also open it partially and get access to some of the things that you might have kind of just at the very top here. There are some side pouches on the inside that don't go all the way down, and you can just kind of grab what you need from the very top. So I do that while I'm in the tree, but when I'm packing it, I open it all the way and I can have full access to the inside of the pack. It has a big pouch that goes the entire length of the bag on this one side, and then 3 little pouches on the other side, and a half-length pouch on the bottom of that. The main thing on the bottom here is the most important part. Anybody going into the woods for any reason should have a first aid kit with them. Hopefully this saves your life, but more importantly, it's going to make any more common cut or little injury manageable without ruining your hunt or your trip. So first aid kit, I'll be going through this to make sure it's not missing any crucial components. I think I used it once or twice for like a minor thing, so making sure to check that and make sure not having to replenish it. The other thing that's kind of floating around in here is this field dressing kit. It has everything you need to field dress a deer and pack it out. It's got a pair of shoulder length gloves with elastic cuffs so they don't come off, a pair of wrist length gloves once you've done field dressing the deer if you want to process the meat with the smaller gloves, and then 2 freezer meat bags, 2 wet wipes, and a 10-inch zip tie for tagging. So it's got everything you need for one deer. The other thing that's in here that is field dressing related is the butt out tube. This is new to me. I've never used this before. I'm used to the kind of cutting around the back of the deer. This is supposed to make it much faster, much simpler, and cleaner. Unfortunately, I did not have a successful hunt this year, so this thing stays in its pack. I also left it in here because it has all the instructions, so I wouldn't have to fiddle around with my phone if I ran into any issues using it. There are some sharp edges to it, and I didn't want it snagging any of my bags or whatever's in the pack. Next up, looks like another set of gloves. I don't need that, and somehow I must have forgotten it in here before I got a fresh field dressing kit. So this won't be making its way back in, I don't think. So that's it on this side and the bottom. At the top, this is something I would grab immediately once I'm in the tree and settled. It is a Primo's Trophy Grunter, just for deer calling. There are tons of fun videos online that help you figure out the different calls based on what you think you've spotted. And then on the other side, another calling device, which is to mimic the sound of antlers when they're crashing into each other, just a deer rattle. These are two things that I can access from the very top. And if successful, or for any other reasons you need to use a knife, I use this knife for field dressing and maybe processing if I need to. It's just a part of a mossy oak kit that I have, this sheath that was laying around, and I use it for it so it doesn't cut up my stuff. I have the rest of this kit in my box that sits in the truck. And finally, there's just a hydration pack in here that I've already cleaned out and dried out from my last use. I like to do that right away so things don't get tasting funky and moldy. So that's all that is in this main compartment. It fits a lot more, but again, I don't need all of that. The other compartment is at the very top, and in here I just keep a few items. Usually any snack would go in here. We will not find it today because I eat my snacks as soon as I'm in the tree. Really bad about that. And then, you know, for 4 hours, I'm usually just sitting there hungry and bored. Anyway, in here, typically I'm wearing this when I'm walking in, especially for an early morning hunt. But that's where I keep this USB-C rechargeable headlamp, and I'll be sure to throw it on a charger before I pack it away. Just super simple. This one is branded by Mossy Oak. Nothing fancy, just works. It's got a few adjustability points, kind of like at the top here. Allows you to change the angle on it. Just your typical headlamp. And also a monocular. This one is by Vortex. It's a 10 by 25. Nothing fancy. I, again, don't want to carry anything too big. This has worked really well. It's super light and also packs perfectly in here. There's a lot of organizing in here if you want to, and if you like to do that. There's a little mesh zipper right here that you can put some paperwork in, maybe your ID, maybe your hunting license. And then there's another pouch that has this Velcro flap. And in here I have this multi-tool, just in case I needed something, a knife that is smaller or anything to cut something small with. And then my Vortex rangefinder is in here too. Basically everything in here I just want to quickly grab, and I can toss in here without having it move around too much and get lost in the main compartment. That is everything that's in my day pack. I'm really curious to hear about what's in yours, so please in the comments below let me know if there's anything I need to be replacing, or did I miss something entirely? And more importantly, are there any safety concerns that I'm overlooking here? This is a starter pack for me, which means I'm fairly new to this, having a lot of time discovering and exploring, researching, and testing. So I greatly appreciate your feedback on this. If you are new to this as well, maybe this gives you the confidence to buy some of this stuff or makes you decide on the alternative for whatever reason. Everything we talked about today will be listed in the description below so you know where to find it. And I guess for what it's worth, so far all of this stuff has worked really well for me, and haven't really ran into any issues. Until next time.